Alright, I got another NPC upgrade build for you guys today, and today we're looking at Ring Freddie's Candle Ring AC. Now, what are the main issues with this build? Well, it really just comes down to this being, a light, fast tank tread build with the Songbirds. And the Songbirds is generally like for you to have some verticality over your opponent, and the tank treads, on the other hand, like to remain on the ground, because, you lose a lot of your mobility unless you're on the ground, or assault boosting, of course, right? And because of that, unfortunately, the Songbirds just feel really bad to use, and in fact, the build is just so fast. I think with my setup, you go about 395, just, moving to the side, that I found that, funnily enough, even against a staggered opponent, sometimes the Songbirds literally just miss. They just go off to the side, so, yeah. I ended up deciding the Songbirds just were really, really terrible for this build, and as you can see in the background, I've switched them out for the Truanos, the needle missile launchers, because they're kind of similar. They fire like 2 projectiles. They've got a fairly long reload. They're kind of similar, right? It also helps that they're from Elcano, which is the same manufacturer as Ring Freddie's AC, right? So it kind of fits lore-wise too. But man, I gotta say, I actually struggled quite a bit playing this build for some reason. I don't know if I'm just too tired today. It took me a long time to get some good gameplay footage for this build, and I don't think it's the build's fault. I think I'm just bad at playing it. But I do actually quite enjoy this build quite a lot. It's really, really fast. I haven't actually played on the lightweight tank treads before, and I've been having an absolute blast with them. You roll around so fast, dude. They're a ton of fun. I know they got nerfed a while back, but man, they are still so much fun to play with. I'm probably going to spend some more time playing with the light treads, right? They're really, really fun. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling on at this point. Let's go ahead and get into the build details. Now, for the weapons, I've kind of only made one change. There's technically 2, but it's really only one, right? Starting with his handheld missile launchers, the P-19s, I did end up deciding to stick with these after, a bit of back and forth between, maybe switching to the split missile or switching to the apparative. And I ended up just sticking with these. And the reasons why, well, for the split missile launcher, I just found that this one was just way more consistent, right? I just feel like this seemed to be really, really inconsistent. So I didn't like it that much over the P-19. It's also got, a slightly longer reload time, and the spammability of the standard, missile launcher felt really nice. And actually, the same reasoning is why I ended up sticking with the P-19 over the apparative. It's got a much shorter reload time, and especially since I've switched to the Truanos, that long reload time and lock on, it just felt kind of bad to have so much downtime, right? So I ended up sticking with these just to have more spammability, right? Now, moving on to the back units, where I've switched his original Songbirds to the Truano needle missile launchers, right? And this is not because I think the Songbirds are bad or anything like that. The issue with the Songbirds on this build is just simply that because this is a tank tread build, right? And most of its speed is either on the ground or while assault boosting. So, a lot of on the ground, right? Is that the Songbirds are just really bad while you're on the ground, in my experience. Like, I tried using these, and it's just, even on a staggered target, a lot of times they'll just kind of miss. Especially with how fast you are on this build, if you're just zooming. I just found that your speed literally seems to throw off the Songbirds for some reason. And I just ended up feeling like Songbirds just felt really, really, really bad, right? So I did switch into a Truanos for a couple reasons. One, they are Elcano parts, so they're kind of fitting lore-wise, right? It was only a really small part, but I thought I'd mention it, right? But the big thing is they're just really good direct hit damage dealers. And even after their tracking nerfs, they're still pretty decent at just, catching people by surprise or catching opponents by surprise, hitting opponents at a distance. They're still pretty good for that. But they're still really amazing direct hit damage dealers, right? And yeah, that's really all there is to say about the weapons. Now, for the frame, I actually didn't make any changes at all here. The reasoning's pretty simple. I wasn't going to change the, the Fortaleza tank tread, right? And the Fortaleza parts are all just really good lightweight parts already. And I just didn't see a particularly good reason to bother with changing them, right? So yeah, that's all there is to say about for the weapons and the frame. So let's go ahead and move on into the internals. Now, there aren't many changes for the internals either, right? So first, of course, for the booster, we're using tank treads. There's no booster option, right? Now, for the FCS, of course, he has originally the P10 SLT on, and this is, of course, just what I stuck with. Obviously, we don't really care about anything other than missile lock correction on this build. Even multi-lock correction isn't that big of a deal, even though our handhelds can multi-lock. it's really not a big deal with them because they do have pretty fast lock on naturally, right? The P10 SLT was definitely, the obvious choice. There's no real reason to use the P12 on this build, and obviously nothing else has the missile lock correction that either of these have, so they were just not a consideration to begin with, right? Now, for the generator, originally he has the Yaba on, and I ended up switching this out for the Hokushi. I mean, what is there to say about this? Better energy capacity, better energy output, which equals better energy supply efficiency. I mean, it does way more, so it does technically slow the build down just a little bit, but not enough to matter in my opinion. So, there's no real reason not to upgrade to the Hokushi. Obviously, we've talked about the Hokushi many times on this channel. This is just an incredibly good generator after its buffs. I use it all the time, right? And you could maybe say consider using the Santai or something. It's going to slow you down even more, but you're going to get a massive energy bar. You're going to get an even shorter energy recharge delay. But it just really doesn't matter since this is a primarily grounded build already. You spend most of your time on the ground. It's pretty rare you run out of energy on this build unless you're just kind of haphazardly spamming quick boost for no reason, right? It's pretty rare you're going to run out of energy. And obviously for the expansion, he has pulse armor on originally. This being a primarily long-range build, you're not going to find many opportunities to sell armor, so I ended up leaving pulse armor alone, right? Of course, you could use terminal armor, even pulse protection if you wanted to. But yeah, I didn't see a big reason to switch off the pulse armor. And yeah, that's all there is to say about the build. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And before we get into the gameplay footage, a quick thank you to our members. As always, any amount of money you guys are willing to spend on the membership is very much appreciated. You get some benefits based on your tier. You get your name here, of course. There's a private Discord channel that only members get access to. If you do the Black Cat tier or higher, or no, the Purple Cat tier or higher, that's my bad. The $10 one or higher, that is. You get to see the videos at least a day early. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into the gameplay footage.
Code 1-5. Target has reached the facility.
Where's our patrol? All units, external comms have been compromised. Respond with available forces. We need time to activate the HC.
Code 5. Solo AC.
Code 2-3. Attending C. That AC must be our independent merc. Moving to terminate.
Planetary Closure Administration HC enforcement craft.
That's the new HC. Stay sharp, 621.
2 repair units remaining.
That comms interference must have been your work too, interloper. Corpses mercs, you're all the same. Violate the law and you'll pay the price.
AP at 50%. AP at 30%. AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
Enemy system silent. HC enforcement craft destroyed.
Nothing left in the vicinity. Looks like you cleaned up. We're done here. Head back to base, 621.
Main system activating combat mode.
Let's get started, Raven. Astrocrone's pilot, callsign King, has an 89.6% mission success rate. His His reputation for finesse is such that he's advertised as the ideal mercenary. Umbrox is piloted by Chartreuse, an aggressive bulldozer with unrivaled firepower. Those who've seen her at work call her an unstoppable force. Intercept the two targets.
There's our merc. Go take care of the objective, King. I'll clip this one's wings.
Not alone. This is a branch mission. I'll support you.
This isn't right. You're just a Gen 4. You belong in a museum, not an AC.
Together!
You don't know when to quit. Just like all the other Ravens.
This pilot's no Raven. Don't let the call sign mislead you.
What other ravens?
AP at
Why won't you die?
Chartreuse! Withdraw! Abandon your AC!
AC Umbrox destroyed.
2 repair kits remaining. AP at 50%.
Wait, I'm picking up another AC.
Augmented human, C4621. We're not here to take back the Raven name. However, we will see if you can do it justice. Apologies for the delay, King.
You're late. The imposter already got Chartreuse. We can't take chances.
That pilot must be the original Raven Resistance. This is coincidence.
You're strong. Worthy of your name.
AC Astrocrown destroyed.
Thank you, King. We've lost both of them.
One AC left, Raven.
No
Raven, we can still... All right. We'll watch this one. See where they go on a Raven's wings.
All enemy ACs destroyed. Mission accomplished.